at all this useless food.
But Mommy, why are they useless? Can't we eat them?
Don't be ridiculous. All their stems are under 70 degrees.
Now, have you ever intentionally bought a bruised fruit before? Like recently, within the past couple of weeks? No way? Well, we've got some special people here. Let's see this. Sorry. What?
Did you know that 58% of food produced in Canada is wasted? That's equivalent to throwing away 3 out of 5 grocery bags. We only have 2 left. 28% of that food is wasted at the farm level.
Clearly, that's a lot of wasted surplus that we could be taking advantage of.
44% of Canadians try to be environmentally friendly. Of this, we understand that 50% of Canadians find it increasingly difficult to find a healthy food option.
That's a lot of market share that we could be taking advantage of.
Now, our solution to this problem is the company EcoBlend. Now, what is EcoBlend? Well, EcoBlend is a company that buys would-be wasted produce for approximately 50% of the market price, and then turns it into ready-to-blend smoothies. Then we ship it to customers in boxes of 9.
So, while this idea might seem a little outlandish, it actually does make a lot of sense. We have 2 pieces of competition already in the market. The first is a company called Misfit Market. And what they do is that they take misfit fruit that doesn't look good, so people don't want to sell it in normal supermarkets, and they ship it direct to consumer for sale on the internet. The second company is a smoothie company or health food company called Daily Harvest. And what they do is that they take normal looking fruit, so very expensive, and they chop it up and put it into cups for you to blend. What we're doing is we're combining the 2 for a very profitable company.
Yeah. So how are we different from these 2 competitions? So we use environmentally friendly source produce, and we're not like looking really good. And so with this, we're able to buy it at a cheaper price, so we can sell it way cheaper than our competition like Daily Harvest.
So what's the actual process for our business? So we start off by harvesting some of the unwanted fruit from actual farms. From there we ship it to our cold storage warehouse facilities where we chop up the undesirable fruit to make it look not so undesirable. From there we package it in cold storage boxes and ship it directly to consumers. So we're going to implement hazard and critical control points in order to ensure safety for our product. So what this means is we're going to map out every critical control point. So everywhere that something could go wrong with our product, we're going to have a plan in place to try and prevent things from going wrong. This verifies our chain of custody. So we know where the fruit came from, which farm it came from, which employee handled the food, and which consumer it went to. That way, if something is wrong with one of the fruits or vegetables that we said, we can trace it back to its original source and deal with that accordingly. This helps ensure customer safety.
We're asking for $1 million for 25% of our company.
So we're going to sell each box of 9 smoothies for $50. For reference, the competition sells each box for $72. So we are undercutting them by 30%, which will hopefully allow us to take some of their consumer base away and make some profit.
Our cost breakdown is made of ingredients, packaging, storage, marketing, including the agency that we're working with, and shipping.
All these costs taken into account, that would be $87,850 a month of operating expenses. However, our revenue, assuming we sell 70% of our product, so a little wiggle room, would be $146,000.
That's a 66% profit margin. For $700,000 in profit on year 1.
Now, to move on to marketing. My mom and I, we're extremely health conscious. We try to eat as healthy as we can, as often as we can. Well, that's hard. We're extremely busy, always going from point A to point B, which is why our company tries to sell our product to this demographic. Our target market is mainly composed of health conscious adults between the ages of 20 to about 50. Now, how are we going to reach out to these people? Well, we intend to predominantly advertise through social media marketing, accessing about 3.5 billion active users in total, and with the majority of our young adult audience being on Instagram, and the remaining 90% of 40 to 50-year-olds being on Facebook. We intend to use tactics such as paid advertisements and influencer marketing, such as the wonderful Jeff Nippery, who's clearly been on our smoothies. We also intend to collaborate with CO Plus, a 5-star rated company based in Toronto that specializes in online advertising.
So in summary, we're turning would-be wasted produce into ready-to-blend smoothies. We have a profit margin of 66%, and on year one, selling only 70% of our product, we'd make $700,000. With a growth rate of approximately 50% per year, we'd have a total of $8.5 million in the next 5 years. We're asking for $1 million for 25% of our company. So what's in it for you? You have an ROI of 213% in the next 5 years. So you guys are going to be making $1.13 million in profit.
So we're EcoBlend. Thank you all for taking the time to listening to our pitch. Who's in?
I don't have a question yet. I have to comment on how your valuation is amazing. You're a $4 million company in a week. So that's the fastest growing company I have ever seen. So congratulations on making that happen. But I do commend you on your financial forecast. Irrespective of your assumptions, I think the fact that you thought about your revenue sources and your projections, I think that's demonstrates a lot of potential for your team. So good job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I gotta say, great presentation. If I had some cash, I would invest right away. It was very good. A couple questions I had. I didn't hear a lot about sort of any market validation that you've done. I know I did notice that you've got a lot of competitors set up there, which is great market validation. So can you talk a little bit about that? And then my second question is sort of what's the timing in terms of going from farm to the customer's house or the table? Give me a little sense of that.
Okay, sure. We need to go back to the first space. Sorry about that. So we talked about 58% of food products wasted in Canada, and we talked about how much is wasted at the farm level, and that's where we're sourcing our ingredients from to make the smoothies. And we have this stat. We have the sources available. We can give it to you afterwards. We don't have it right now. You have 50% of Canadians finding it increasingly difficult to find healthy food. And so based on that, we thought, okay, so it really looks like we have a gap to fill in the market. So that's basically what we did. Could you ask your second question again?
Yeah, just the timing from going from the farm, so you're going to get these ingredients and produce it. When do you actually see the physical customer? How old is the food?
Yeah, so once we take it from the farms, it would take at most a few days to get it to the cold storage facility, which would be based in Toronto. Yeah, so since it's a cold storage facility, from there, after we process the fruit, we can freeze it and put it in its respective boxes, and from there, we ship.
Just one more thing, in our packaging, we also included dry ice in our costs. So if you want the cost breakdown, we can give it to you afterwards. It's on our Google Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, so from there we can take the boxes which have dry ice in them, and if we can ship it, so it would still be usable for the consumer by the time they can get it, which would be maximum a week, I believe.
Thanks, guys. Coming from a food business before, what I'm doing now there is a lot of waste. I see it all the time, and I can see there's a huge opportunity there for you guys. But some of the questions were mentioned that the actual transportation to the location, and you were saying about cutting in pieces. You're offering cut piece fruit, or is it just going to be just for smoothies?
Yeah, so sorry that we didn't clarify that. So we would sell it to the consumer in kind of cups, sort of. So essentially you would take one of those cups, which contains tons of frozen fruit,
Oh, it's
You
full
dump
of
it, yeah, so you
I
dump it
see.
straight into the blender, put a little milk or water, whatever, blend it up. So it's really fast, it's really convenient. It's fruit, so it's healthy, and we sell 9 of those to the consumer in each box.
Now I understand. And then each box you were saying it was, I guess there's the actual costing that you're going to spend after, but $50 for a box, and how many cups do you get in a box?
Yeah, so there would be 9 cups in a box, right? So 9, so each box would have 9 smoothies in it, and this is great because when users actually take the fruit themselves and blend it, they feel like they're actually doing it themselves. They're not, but they feel like they are. And sorry. So this would help them feel healthy, and hopefully they return.
And the shelf life, because it's frozen, I guess you, as soon as you get it home, you put it back in your freezer, and then you would keep it until you need it. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.